Welcome to this new Consepsys document control tip of the month. This month, we examine the practice of continuous improvement. Continuous improvement consists in a kind of culture that develops and uses mechanisms and processes to systematically learn, improve, and become continually and consistently better with time. In a way, it is about refusing to live with recurrent problems, and it is about effectively learning from past successes and from past mistakes. To illustrate this culture, let's start with a tale from a land far, far away. In this tale, a farmer grows apples in a beautiful orchard. Every week, he picks the best fruit to sell it at the market. He loads the apples onto a large cart and he painstakingly drags the cart over to the next village, 5 kilometers away. Every week, he makes this return trip, dragging his cart along, panting and sweating, aching and moaning. At some point, after a few months and a dozen return trips, the exhausted farmer starts thinking that there must be a better way to conduct his next sales trip. After much thought and dizzying brain-racking, he eventually comes up with a brilliant idea, using wheels. He fits his cart with beautifully crafted wheels, and his next sales trip takes a much more pleasant and leisurely turn. On his return, having sold all his apples at a fair price, the happy farmer has no more use for the wheels. Because they are made of wood, he uses them for his fireplace, and all is well in the best of all possible worlds. On the next market day, the farmer resumes his routine of loading apples and dragging the cart to the next village. Over the following months, he painstakingly makes his return trip, dragging his cart along, panting and sweating, aching and moaning. After a few months, the exhausted farmer starts thinking that there must be a better way to conduct his next sales trip. He racks his brain and he eventually comes up with the brilliant idea of wheels with which he fits his cart. His next sales trip goes more easily and takes a lot less time. On his return, after a very successful sales day, the delighted farmer has no more use for the wheels. They are fed to his fireplace, and all is well in the best of all possible worlds. On the next market day, the farmer loads apples and proceeds with the return trip, panting and sweating, aching and moaning. Over the following months, he painstakingly makes this. Now, this story of perpetual rework sounds very silly, doesn't it? Yet, it is surprising to see the proportion of people and organizations who act like this farmer in real life without even realizing it. The farmer's story is simplistic and condensed in a short time indeed. Therefore, it's easy to see what's wrong with it. However, in the core of day-to-day activities, how do many people and many organizations behave? Well, there's the example of this person who forgets their mobile phone charger every time they go on holiday. There is the example of this medical practice that sends the same letter 3, 4, and sometimes 5 times to a patient every time they write to patients. There is this construction contractor who winds up in litigation at the end of each construction job because they have built based on incorrect revisions of drawings. There is this employee who gets a poor performance appraisal every year because they never take notes when their boss gives them instructions. There is this company that receives deliveries at the incorrect address at every delivery because they do not specify that the delivery address is different from the office address. In all these examples, a culture of continuous improvement would help significantly. Continuous improvement starts with a conscious decision and with the refusal to live like the farmer in the story, continually reinventing the wheel, continually restarting from scratch, continually reworking through the same old unresolved problems. It then requires commitment, method, and consistency to design, implement, and maintain a culture in which learning opportunities are systematically grabbed. How? By systematically stopping and thinking about factors that have led to success, and then by making sure that ingredients for success are all included next time. Or by reflecting on what factors have led to a failure, and then by making sure that the mistakes that were made are not repeated. For example, the person who routinely forgets their mobile phone charger could prepare a standard travel checklist to be used every time they go on holiday. The medical practice that systematically sends the same letter several times could develop an action list which would allow to cross out tasks once they've been completed. The construction contractor who regularly gets sued could recruit a competent document controller. The employee who usually performs poorly can start carrying a notebook to jot down all actions and instructions given by their boss. Finally, the company that consistently receives deliveries at the incorrect address could produce a standard instruction explaining that the delivery address is different from the office address. If, like the best people and the best organizations, you refuse to live like the farmer in our story, a culture of continuous improvement allows to transform past lessons into reliable and continuous success. If you wish to know more about continuous improvement, our online blog contains 3 articles that may be of interest. Avoiding recurrent document control problems. Is efficiency a luxury or a necessity? Continuous improvement, how it separates the best from the rest. Also, the book Avoiding or Overcoming Organizational Inertia describes methods to continually integrate lessons and improvement opportunities. The links are provided in the description below. If you practice continuous improvement in your work or in your personal life, write yes in the comments below. If you find it difficult to convince your colleagues, your boss, your work interfaces about practicing continuous improvement, write difficult in the comments below and show them this video.
We regularly release new content on document control, so don't forget to subscribe to this channel, to like this video, and to hit the notification bell to be notified of any useful new content.